Farm workers feed not only the state but the world, and now an agreement that would protect hundreds of thousands of young undocumented workers hangs in the balance, leaving many fearing that they could be deported. California State Board of Food and Agriculture heard from those in the agricultural community about recent federal changes to immigration policy that would end DACA.
CBS 13's Kelly Ryan joins us now from the newsroom with more. Kelly.
Well, the purpose of DACA policy, which stands for Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, was to protect immigrant young people from deportation who came to the U.S. as children. Now, during the campaign, the president vowed to end the program, but later was more sympathetic to the Dreamers' case. As Democrats and Republicans continue disagreeing over what happens next, the question remains, will changes be made to give these young people a path to citizenship?
Not only do they have a level of skill, they have a passion to stay within the ag industry.
The U.S. ag industry depends upon having strong farmers, growers, and workers. Many of those workers come from immigrant families, including those who fall under DACA. Their status brought Javier Zamora to a meeting of the State Board of Food and Agriculture today.
These kids were brought up to the country when they were little, and they have no idea what they were going to find themselves.
DACA's purpose was to protect immigrant young people who came to the U.S. when they were children. Children, Zamora says, have grown to be a vital part of California's ag community.
We should enhance their skills and not really take away things that will jeopardize our food chain.
The Trump administration last month ended the DACA program, which began under President Obama in 2013. That program allowed roughly 800,000 so-called dreamers to work legally in the U.S. without being deported. Last month, the president negotiated with Democrats on legislation that would protect DACA recipients.
The removal of DACA would adversely impact so many lives across California.
Craig McNamara, owner of Sierra Orchards, is the president of the State Board of Food and Agriculture. He says DACA covers 223,000 students and young people in the state and calls them some of the best and brightest workers in California.
They are the future for us.
He's optimistic, but says their status is an immediate issue,
so that they can remain in this country and enjoy the resources of this country while they're contributing so much.
Javier Zamora couldn't agree more.
These are humans. These are humans that are going to be creating and perhaps growing food and making sure food is grown for our future generations.
Now, both men we spoke with today say they are staying positive and believe an agreement can be reached. And late this afternoon, Senate Republicans signaled support for the Dreamers with conditions, pairing it with tighter immigration enforcement inside the U.S. and border security.
Big question mark is the federal government in all of this, of course, and their stance on it all. Kelly, thank you.